What do you got next? You got any more?
Yes. Shout out to Red. Now, Red, unfortunately, Deke can't read these because you sent them in at 1:23 p.m. today. He really had to get this off his chest. All right.
Okay.
But he wanted.
He's calling out me.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, Moats, please have Deke read this," and it simply says, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Okay. So yeah. That was what he wanted you to be on. And then he says, also, why is everyone scared that Mike T or Coach Tomlin might leave? We acting like when the Steelers hired him, he was for sure a Hall of Fame coach. We knew one day he would be gone. So how you feel about your Cancun situation, and then ultimately how you feel about this Coach T stuff now?
I'm not going to Cancun. And I don't think anyone's scared about losing Coach T. And it depends on who you ask. I actually think a lot of people right now want Coach T gone. They would celebrate that if he was out of here. Not me. I don't want him gone. I want him back. I think he's a good coach. I think he should, at the very least, play out the rest of his contract. I think 10-7 this year, considering all the circumstances and how things played out, up and down quarterback play, defensive injuries, was decent. I think it was something. I don't think it's anything to just sneeze at. I still think it should have been better. I think we could have still finished like 11-6, 12-5 potentially. But
so do you think we underachieved or overachieved or were just right this season?
Underachieved.
Okay.
I underachieved a little bit. We made the playoffs. End of the day, that counts for something. I would have liked to win at least the playoff game, go on a little bit of a run. So it feels like we underachieved. But at the same time, I can appreciate the good things that took place as well.
No, respect.
But yeah, just how Coach T is. Being here as the Steelers head coach, we're always going to have a season at least 500 or above. I think that's something to appreciate. We need better playoff success though. End of the day, I'm not scared of losing, but I still think he's a good coach and shouldn't be just run out of town willy nilly.
Could dig it. To me, I think he overachieved this season with the group that he had. But that's just how I perceive the talent that we got here. I don't view it as high end in certain places as, others league-wide. So when I look at this team and what it had to endure with the talent for it to get to these 10 dubs and get in that postseason, that was why, to me, I was like, I thought he overachieved with this group specifically. Now, I think that he overachieved with this group, but I still feel like the playoff drought in terms of lack of wins also matters. But I think that they both can coexist, and that's the other part for right now. I'm not saying that you're accepting one or the other or saying that this is more okay than this is, but I think both of them matter, and I think both of them are significant in terms of when you're judging him off of this season, in terms of when you're judging him off of his tenure, because I think this season, postseason ending, is very different than the narrative that has been spread in terms of just his overarching playoff success in 16.
They're different teams.
I think they're two different things. But if your narrative is he doesn't win in the postseason, you lump it all together, subtract context, and now you have the story that you're looking for. I just think that there's a lot of context in this story, and that's why so many people have so many different opinions about him. Because, yes, he is a heck of a coach, and we've seen that. Statistically, he's already proven that he can win it all. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been in another Super Bowl, so we can't do that. But the part that we are specifically looking for is the postseason success, which we know league-wide, as you've seen, doesn't matter if you got 12 wins or 6 wins, right? That is the hardest time to win. And you're either trying to find a coach that, if he gets you there, can go all the way, or you're trying to find a coach that can at least get you into the conversation. Because I think that that's part of this stuff too, right? The Belichick situation, him being available, and it's like, all right, that's great. We know he's a great playoff coach, but what has happened since Brady has left in the regular seasons? You can't even get there because he's not winning enough here. But then you look at a Mike McCarthy who's destroying a regular season, 12 wins, but you're seeing him on the flip side struggle in the postseason. So you're like, okay, are 12 wins not good? Is 12 wins average? Is 12 wins mediocre? Or how do I find that guy that can get me into that postseason and actually win more? Do I risk maybe 3 to 4 wins and that changes seeding, change the feel of this team? But does that make me feel like I have a better chance at winning? These are all the conversations that go around league-wide. We just like to make it feel like it's just us in Pittsburgh. But these are legitimate conversations, man.
They're talking about firing Sirianni.
That's what I'm saying. And he was just in the Super Bowl last year, bro.
And I think
they were 10-1 to start this season out, man.
I think where it gets tough too, I'll just bring up the Steelers as an example here and yesterday's game. All right, we talk about Tomlin and his slow starts in playoff games, how we've been getting outscored. There's that stat. I think was our last
21,
4 or 5 playoff games,
like
we're getting outscored 66-0.
Yeah. Because it was like 20-something, 21-something at half times.
Yeah, that's bad. But in yesterday's game specifically, I'm like, you know what? Mason threw that pick and Pickens fumbled.
It's literally a 14-point game at halftime, bro. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's at least...
It's supposed to be 14-14 at halftime.
That's at least... I mean, it's a 10-point swing up to a 14-point swing.
Yeah,
those two plays right there.
And then not only
is that on Coach T? That's my thing. Now you want to talk about the defense and how they responded to those errors? Maybe you call that on Coach T. But is that the players and their own miscommunication? I don't know.
But I would also say
because then you talk about Cowboys with McCarthy.
Yeah.
Is Dak just sucking in the playoffs? Like that's
because
the other
those
thing.
are legitimate conversations.
How much is it on McCarthy versus Dak folding in the playoffs as well?
And even with the shortcomings that we had defensively in the first half, I do feel like we made certain adjustments in the second half. But once again, our tackling was just awful. If you tackle bad in this league, man, it's gonna get you beat. You hear me? Missed tackles and mental errors. Mental errors and missed tackles would get you beat. Those are the two fastest ways to lose games in this league, man. And when you're doing both of them like we were doing, and then you sprinkle in that turnover thing, it's like, bro, that's the perfect way to get beat, man.
Tomlin's at the head of all of it, so
absolutely,
yeah, he gets blamed.
And that's why it's like it matters. So I'm like, yes, he is, held to the fire with this. But at the same time, this still is some high level cooking. So it's like, it's the balance that we're trying to wear right now.